Okay, excellent. Let's now focus on our button. When this button is clicked, so we want to show some message to the user, is the email address is valid or not. Okay, so select your button, which is continue button on the email page. Make sure that you have opened the register VC, scroll it to the bottom, and here control left mouse click drag here, we release it of type action. I will name it continue email continue button underscore clicked. This is how I will name it. And the same we're gonna do for the full name. Select the continue button of the full name page, hold Ctrl left mouse click, drag, release it here. I'll name it full name continue button underscore clicked, and here we'll make it of type action. Excellent. So since I have started doing this, I will do the same for the password. Continue button, hold Ctrl left mouse click, drag, release it here. Password continue button underscore clicked. Oops, I made a mistake. It should be action, not an outlet. So let's cancel. Hold left control and left mouse click drag. Here it must be of type action. Password continue button underscore clicked. And the same we're doing for the birthday. Select the birthday continue button, hold Ctrl left mouse click drag, release it here. Birthday continue button underscore clicked. And this of type action. Okay, so since we're done with this, we will come back to our register view controller. We'll scroll down. So here what we can do, so this function called once continue button is pressed, I'll copy this on email page. So that's for the full name page, that one is for the password page, and that one is for the birthday page. I'll write a comment for you. Okay, so what we want to do is once we type some email address and then we click continue, let's say we want to throw an error if the email is not valid. We want to show to the user that the email wasn't valid. Okay, let's do this. So when we go to password continue button, yes, I deleted by mistake outlet connection. Let me recreate this. This is the one. We'll just now check. So when we press this, if there is an error, we want to show this error. Okay, here I'll write something like, first we'll call helper, let helper equals to helper. This is the class which we are accessing, this one. So, and here we'll write if helper from lowercase is valid email. So string we'll be using email text field dot text, email text field dot text exclamation mark, means if it is valid, then print valid, else print invalid. Okay, so we can now run our app and to see is the email address we're typing is valid or not. So I'll try here to type 123. and it shows me that this is invalid. Excellent. I'll type something like this, invalid. Okay, if I'll type like michael@gmail.com, it will tell me that this is valid. Excellent. But the logic I believe we need to create is a little different. So how it happens with the Facebook, initially the continue button is hidden. So when we enter or when we type some valid email, then this button gets appeared. This is what exactly we want to do. Okay, so let's do this. So I will clear now this email, consider these buttons, we'll be using them later on. Okay, we will be now coming back to main storyboard. We want to add a one protocol. If you have watched my another courses about to creating a full clone of the Instagram, creating the full clone of the Twitter, work on the custom backend and the full Swift course, so you know how to program the following and in more advanced way. So another step we need to do, I will skip this advanced programming which we covered previously. What we will be doing now, we will now create an action for this text field. We'll now declare the function which will be executed whenever this gets changed. Okay, so select your email text field, call assistant editor, select your automatic, scroll it down. I will scroll it here right before email continue button clicked. Hold Control, left mouse click, drag it, release here. And I will name it email text field, or let's write text field did change of type action. Here we will write editing changed. So it will be event of type editing changed. Okay, of type action text field did change. Here we go. Okay, here I'll write text field of type UI text field. So it will look like a native protocol. So this function called every time when text field gets changed. Okay, so the same I will make for the first name. The same, it should be editing changed. The same it will be for the last name. Go to connection inspector, editing changed, here we go. Then the same will do for the password. And let's say we can, okay, so here we go. With the birthday we'll play in a different way. Okay, so here what we are doing, we will write here a logic. So yeah, we'll write now here in one logic, which is very simple one. Okay, so this function executed by different, let's say 4 or 5 text fields. So we need to declare a logic when we are working with the email text field. First, we need to declare if the text field, which is that one, is email text field and the email is valid, only then make this button appeared. So this is what we need to do. If text field equals to email text field, and let's say here we'll declare helper, let helper equals helper open and close round brackets, and here we'll write and helper dot is email is valid email text field dot text as a string. Then we're opening the curly brackets. Here we'll write print valid, else let's print invalid. Okay, let's test this logic. We're going to register page. Okay, it shows invalid, but as soon as I start putting the right email address, it will tell you valid. Okay, if I do for that one, it will show me invalid. Okay, why? Because that one is not the email text field. Okay. Or if you want, we can do it in a more simpler way for you to understand the logic. So let me remove this one, and we'll make it for the beginners, we'll make it more simpler. If text field equals to email text field, open and close round brackets, and here you can write if helper, open and close, just helper dot is valid email, and here make reference to our email. Email text field dot text, and here we write print valid, for example. And the same we will do for, we need to declare a logic for the full name. Here we write else if text field equals to first name text field, and here or text field equals to last name text field, and here we want to verify the email, the valid name. Then if helper is valid name, we'll do it in this way. If helper dot is valid name first text field dot text, print valid name, then else if text field equals to last name text field. Actually, we need to do it in a different way, sorry guys. Or text field equals to last name text field dot. Yeah, and here we'll write if helper dot is valid name first name text field dot text exclamation mark, or helper dot is valid name, which will be last name text field dot text exclamation mark. Here we'll write valid name. Okay, this is we're checking the email text field. Here we're checking the full name text field. And here we will now, after full name, we have a password. With password, we want, let's say, minimum characters to be 6. And we write here else if text field equals to password text field, open and close round curly brackets, and here we write if password text field dot text dot, let's say, count is more or equal 6, which is minimum 6 characters as a password, print valid password. That one I'll keep as a valid email address. Okay, so for that one we'll be using a date. So here it tells you sometimes whenever any Swift getting updated, you might see this type of deprecation, so we will fix that as well. Okay, first I would like to make that one ready. So here it shows valid email address. Okay, excellent. So we're going to the first name, Bob valid name, and here Bob valid name, and here password 1 2 3 4 5 6, so valid password as well. So what we want to do is we want this one to be secure entry, so we're going to main storyboard. We'll select the password text field. We're going to attribute inspector. Here we select secure entry. Excellent. Okay, so this is what we have done. So now, as you remember, initially these buttons must be disappeared. So whenever we type something valid, then they must be appearing. So let's implement this. We're going to main storyboard, select your continue button, scroll down, go to attribute inspector, then scroll down, select hidden, select the same for the full name, hidden, the same for create password, hidden in the attribute inspector, the same for your birthday, hidden as well. Okay, so if you launch now your app, the continue buttons will be hidden. So want them to be appeared once the type information is correct. Okay, instead of here print valid email, we'll write here email continue button dot is hidden equals false, like this. So the same we're doing for the full name. Full name continue button is hidden equals false. The same we're doing for the password button. Password continue button dot is hidden equals false. Excellent. So let's now build and run our app. So the button is hidden. I'll write michael@mail.com. Here we go. Excellent. So you can see the button appeared. So the name is Bob. Here we need to write, instead of or, we need to write and, because we want both of this case to be valid, not like here we write if this is valid, then enable it, or if this is valid, enable it. No, we want it in a different way. If first name valid and last name valid, then enable it. So this is what we want to do. Okay, let's come back. hello@mail.com. Then we have here Bob, Michael, then we got it enabled. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the button is getting enabled as well. So this is exactly, guys, what we wanted. So let me now here type a comment. Here we are accessing or declaring constant as a shortcut, as the icon on your desktop, to the helper class. This one is for the email text field, logic for email text field. That one is logic for first name or last name text fields. That one is logic for password text field. So what we are doing here, and the sub logic will be if the email is valid, check email validation, or your check full name validation, and the same for the password, check password validation. Okay, so this is the logic exactly how it works in the original Facebook app. So what about the characters? So here we will write, let's say, google.com. What we can do, we can simply copy this and we can enter it. So here it shows you what can be the solution of this. So where you can just simply write count. Let's try to simply write count. You build your app and you're successfully able to build your app, and it won't show you any warning messages. So excellent job, guys. Good job, good done. So this is how we'll build the logic. Excellent. So now we'll go and work with the scroll view.